Welcome to a month in my reading life. Good morning and happy 420. Anyway, today I do not have a lot of places to go. It is date night tonight when we drop our kids off at youth, but until then I really don't have anywhere to go. I do have a lot of stuff to do though, because all the videos that I recorded or filmed yesterday need to be edited today. So I organized all those files last night before bed and I made sure I moved everything over. And so now I just need to get all of those edited and exported and uploaded. That's it. I don't do any other thing with them on YouTube today. That's for tomorrow. I just get them all edited and exported and uploaded. So while I edit the first one and then I start exporting it and I start editing the next one while I'm exporting it. And then when that one's done and I start exporting that, I start uploading the first one that finished exporting. I hope that makes sense. So it's almost like changing the laundry and they just move to the different spots when they're finished. So that is the plan. I'm going to get started. Some of these videos are only like 7 minutes long, so it's really not going to take that long to do them. I just need to jump on it. So I will check in with you guys in a little while. I do want to start Sterling City today. Otherwise, things are going to kind of be the same. I'm going to finish Shaman's Crossing, start Sterling City, and that's about it. I'm going to do the same daily reading of Fires of Heaven. I'm still reading Cytonic, and I didn't get very far yesterday. I was really tired last night. So my plan is to work on Cytonic once I finish all of my daily readings that I have. And so we'll just see how it is. Oh, I did want to mention, I'm getting really close to the end of my short story book. Some of these short stories have just been 1 or 2 pages long, so I've been combining some of them. So I think I only have about 7 or 8 stories left. And so I might just push through and finish that today so that I can mark it off on my Aurelium character sheet. And I think that's everything for this update. I'll check back in with you later on. Y'all, it is 7:38 and I am not even halfway done. So after I looked at everything that I had to do today, there were so many things on my list to edit. And had I not had to leave the house at all and I could have just worked from the time I got up till now, I probably still couldn't have gotten everything done. And so all that means is that going forward, when I do a batch week that includes this much content for all of our channels, I've never done a batch week for all of the channels at one time. And so that just means that I'm going to have 2 editing days. But what I found out yesterday was I only need 1 filming day. And also I realized that I haven't said this yet, but everything that I learned about batching, or the whole concept of having a batch week, came from another Amanda Warfield, and she does not have a YouTube channel, but she is on Instagram at Mrs. Amanda Warfield. I think I will link it down below, but she teaches a class about content batching, and she has a membership called Club Content Batching, and I got in with her over a year ago. And it just, if you make any kind of content, whether it's blog or Instagram, or if you have any kind of business where you have to make content to promote your business or anything like that, her teachings are fantastic. She also has a podcast as well, and it's called Chasing Simple is her podcast. So anyway, Skeeter is apparently going to squeak for us down there. You got a ball, babe? She's got one of her squeaky balls, and Django is firmly up here in my lap with me. So there's one last thing that I wanted to talk about before I just shut all this down. I'm going to try to rework my days where I have another editing day tomorrow, and then Friday I can move into what is supposed to be day 4 of my batch week. But I got something very cool in the mail today. The hardback copy. The hardback copy of Waking Ursa Minor. Now this is cool. This looks just like the cover. Let me grab my paperback version. They look the same, of course. the covers do. However, look at this. How beautiful is this? Like, I love this so much. The naked hardcover is so cool. And I just can't wait to put this on my shelf and see how it looks up there with everything else. The font in this is kind of small. It's not super small, but this book, this hardback version only has 478 pages in it. And this book right here has over 700 pages. When I read it on the Kindle, which is how I started it at the beginning, there were over 700 pages. So let's see. 691 pages in this paperback. Now, what I would like to do is do a giveaway of Waking Ursa Minor. So today is the 20th. This video will come out on the 21st. And so I am going to do a drawing, randomize, picker, whatever, on May the 1st. Actually, I'm going to do it on the night of April the 30th because I'm going to be driving on May the 1st. So if you want to win this book, just comment below and say that you want to be entered in the drawing. That's it. And you can comment on any video through any video on my channel just saying I want to win the Waking Ursa Minor book, and I will put you down for in the drawing, and you can live anywhere. I'm just going to pay the shipping to send it wherever you live in the world. So anybody anywhere want this book or want to win this book, put it on your thing, and the very final video that I'm going to make on the night of April 30th, I'm going to finish the last video that night, and I will draw and see who gets this book. So this is such a great book. It is an epic fantasy, young adult-ish. She's a young adult, but it's definitely didn't feel young adult to me. Like, it just didn't have a lot of the pitfalls that I think some young adult books do, but it's fantastic. The character work in here is amazing, and it's awesome. And it's self-published, so we always want to support indie authors. Okay, I think that's everything. I am in a weirdly good mood for all the work that I did today. I think it's because at least now I know going forward that I can do the batch stuff all together. I've been scared to like batch all the channel stuff at the same time, but to know that I'm just going to have to throw an extra editing day in there and I can finish all of it makes me very happy. So I am going to go read. Y'all, I haven't even read my short story for today. I've not done anything. I want to finish Shaman's Crossing. That is my plan for tonight. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to tell you that I finished. Like, I'm very close to the end. I have 3 chapters left. Just over 100 pages. So, not even 100 pages. The rest of this book at the back is another book called Forest Mage. So I don't even have 100 pages. I have 80 pages left. Oh, I'm totally finishing this book. Okay, I'm finishing this book tonight. I'm going to read a couple of short stories. I could go ahead and finish this tonight too. I'm being very ambitious for somebody who has not read a page today. I also need to do Fires of Heaven, and I need to do, that's it. I think that's all of my need to read. That's untrue that I read no pages, because just now in the car when my husband was driving us to dinner, we went on a date to a taco place called Rusty Taco. I played it safe. We'd never been there before, so I played it safe and got nachos, and y'all, it was literally grilled chicken with cheese and chips. That was my nachos. But then my husband, who will literally eat anything, just said, I'll take one of those and one of those and one of those. And that's what he ended up with. So he's much more daring than I am when it comes to the food that he will eat. Anyway, now I read a couple of pages of Sterling City while we were going on our way to dinner. And so I did read that, I guess. But that's definitely not everything that I want to read. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is set up for tomorrow. And then I don't have a ton of stuff tomorrow, or at least not stuff that I can't cancel. And then I'm going to go read. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is 8:40 in the morning. I don't know if the tacos just did not agree with me last night, but I was sick. last night. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to turn my alarm off and I'm going to sleep in. I cannot sleep past like 8:15. Like, even if I've still stayed up till almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, okay, I'm going to sleep in. No. And it's not like I was up all night reading, because as you'll see, I barely read. Well, for me, I barely read anything. I did read my physical pages only because I really wanted to finish this book. So I did. And except for, let's see, there are really just a few chapters. Chapter 23, if you have this book and if you've read it, chapter 23 was weird, and I think it may be like the weirdest. Yes. Chapter 24 is the last chapter in this whole book, but chapter 23 was so bizarre. At the very beginning, there was a weird chapter. Chapter 3 was weird too. So, and 4. It might have been chapter 4 that was like the most odd, but this felt to me like a complete story. Like, it feels like it ended. And so I wonder what happens in book 2. I will say that if you want to read this to just give it a shot, I think you could stop at this book. I mean, I'm assuming book 2 just continues to follow Navarre's life. But, I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But I am going to put it on my list because I definitely wouldn't mind it. I really enjoyed the school parts of this. I really enjoyed I don't know why I like so much the discussions of like the politics and the family planning and the way it works with soldier sons. And there were a group of soldier sons. So they're the second born sons in a family. And there was a whole group of them who helped the king fighting in this battle. This was way before this book started. And the king then made all of those people nobles. All those second sons, gave them their own land to start their own family line. And so his uncle, Navarre's uncle, is the first son, and then his dad is second. And his uncle says, like, I've made it a point to stay close to your father, even though he got raised to the same rank as me. But a lot of people have not done that. And these second sons of second sons now at school are totally being segregated and bullied and just not given the same chances as the second sons of the first sons. So I hope that that makes sense, but that is really what's going on with this. And I just loved all the like stuff that had to do with that. And in the middle of that, it was like we had this really weird supernatural storyline that I almost wanted to be like, that is unnecessary. So anyway, it was still so good. There are these race of people called specks, and they play a pretty significant part in here as well, and they're really weird. I want to know more about them, but I guess that's all I have to say about it. I really liked it. I'm gonna read book 2, or I'm gonna put it on my list. Who knows when I'll get to it, but I'm gonna put it on my list. Now, we're gonna talk about my stomach right now. You know, whenever you have, just fast forward for a second if you don't want to hear about this, but you know when you have the stomach virus and every time you eat something you get sick? Well, it's like, that's not my problem. Like, I got sick one time last night, and I'm sure that had to do with dinner. And I have not had anything to eat yet today. I technically have not even had anything to drink yet today. My water is all the way filled up. My Diet Dr. Pepper has not even been opened. So I have them sitting here, but I have not even put anything into my body today. So I am now wondering if I have like the stomach virus where anything I eat is going to make me sick. I don't know. Let's talk about stats. Nobody cares about my stomach problems right now. Okay. Yesterday, I read 100. Django is very offended that there seem to be children not at school making noise back there in their own yard, and Django is not having it. Okay, yesterday, I read 109 pages, so that's a little bit above average, but I listened to 2 hours and 23 minutes of audio, and most of that was The Wheel of Time, Fires of Heaven. I only listened to like 50 minutes Yeah, 55 minutes of Cytonic. Like, I like the story. I want to be back with Spencer and Mbot. I don't know why I cannot make the time to do it. I know it's because I'm putting it last behind all of my need to read things. But now that I'm done with Shaman's Crossing, I'm reading just Sterling City, and it's so short. And I only read 12 pages of it yesterday, but I'm going to focus on that and Cytonic. So anyway, that brings my total for the month to 2,205 pages and 164 hours and 6 minutes of audio. I did want to say, if you made it this far in the video, that this is going up on the 21st, and it's what happened on the 20th, like what I read on the 20th. And so that's going to continue until the 30th. And the 30th, the video that comes out on the 30th will be what happened on the 29th. But then late that night on the 30th, I'm going to put out one final video about what happened on the 30th and like my monthly stats and all of that wrap up. I'm going to do it that night because early the next morning, we're getting up and driving for like 9.5 or 10 hours to move my son in with my parents for a little while. So we only have 9 days left, and I'm totally cool with it. Let's not say totally, but I am so excited for him and what's coming up next that it's hard for right now for me to be sad for me and the fact that he's going to be gone, because I know that what he's going to go do and starting college, and it's just going to be a lot of fun for him. And so I'm sure that I will be sad for me once I get back from dropping him off. But right now, the anticipation and how excited he is just rubbing off on everybody. So that is going to do it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.